the motherfucking the sewer and shit. You feel me? Alright.
Friday, June 4th, 2004.
I was 1 year old.
An Air Force veteran, settling down in the small town of Granby, Colorado, quickly found himself at his breaking point after losing a decade-long legal battle to a powerful family dynasty who took his land and ran his muffler shop out of business. To enact revenge, the welder fortified a bulldozer into a homemade tank and set out to destroy the small town that took everything from him, resulting in a response from the Army National Guard and an Apache helicopter.
You had to take me on en masse. Well, I'm going to take you on by myself.
In 1992, an auction was held in the small town of Granby, Colorado, in which a foreclosed 2-acre property was to be sold to individual bidders. And Cody Dochev, a powerful Colorado businessman, saw an opportunity to expand some of his business, with plans to buy and build a state-of-the-art concrete plant for his company, Mountain Park Concrete. But to Dochev's surprise, there was another man who had his eye on the foreclosed property, Air Force veteran and Granby newcomer Marvin Heemeyer, who outbid Dochev and secured the 2-acre property for $42,000 to build a muffler shop and expand his welding business. A frustrated Dochev confronted Marv and advised him that the town of Granby doesn't need another car garage, to which Marv advised Dochev that the property was his for $60,000. But Dochev declined his offer and refused to give in to the blue-collar outsider. Marv left the auction with no idea what was to come. The outsider had inadvertently derailed the plans of one of Granby's most prominent and powerful families, and the Dochevs were sure to never let him forget. By the late summer of 1992, Marvin Heemeyer settled in to his new hometown of Granby. He renovated the 2-acre property and built a large warehouse to serve as his body shop. And shortly after, Mountain View Mufflers was officially opened for business. His neighbors at Mountain Park Concrete weren't too pleased, among them Cody Dochev. And in the months to follow, the Dochev secured a loan and offered Marv $250,000 for the 2-acre property. But Marv reportedly raised the price to $375,000 and again to $1 million, further agitating the Dochevs. A few weeks later, Marv received a letter from the town of Granby informing him that his property sewage wasn't up to code. He assumed the problem wouldn't take much work and inquired on how and where to hook up his sewage lines. But to his surprise, the lines were located nearly 500 feet from his property, and with him being responsible for the materials, construction, and months of labor, Marv was shit out of luck with a $100,000 estimate just to connect his sewage. And to add even more red tape, Marv's property didn't even have a maintenance easement. And because the easement would traverse property lines, Marv had to seek the approval of his neighbors over at Mountain Park Concrete, directly from Gus Harris and Cody Dochev.
What do you mean? Oh, who's viewing the stream? You, Shamaria, Stream Elements, Nightbot.
Marv went straight to the board of the sewer district, run by another Granby family dynasty, Ron Thompson.
Cause you know, Mama
friend of
right
Dochev's and brother of Granby Mayor Dick Thompson. And like Dochev,
that band guy was in here early in the start of the stream. He was talking this shit, chopping it up and shit.
Ron Thompson wasn't too keen on outsiders like Marv. Thompson gave him an ultimatum: $90,000 to get his sewage ordeal fixed and up to code, or remain unconnected and face the consequences.
Ooh.
Left with no choice, Marv refrained from connecting his sewage with hopes of finding a cheaper alternative in the future. And by November of that year, Marv returned to the sewage board and demanded easement, and settled a deal with Gus Harris to traverse his property at $20,000 per acre. But in the weeks to follow, Gus Harris ghosted Marv and failed to honor his word, forcing Marv's sewage to remain unconnected for several months. And the months became years, and by 1998, the Dochevs decided to move forward with their construction plans of a massive indoor concrete plant. Marv resisted, but wanted to maintain a cordial relationship with the Dochev, but he was inevitably forced to act, as the Dochevs intended on building in the southwest portion of Marv's property, where Marv had already planned on building a large parking lot for his customers. The Dochevs applied for and received a bizarre location-specific zoning permit that exempts certain plots of land from zoning laws if the purpose of rezoning falls into specific categories. And by the time he figured it all out, Marv was well past the 30-day deadline to appeal the decision. Construction vehicles and operations blocked off the only road to the muffler shop, and Marv began to lose customers. Out of desperation, Marv purchased a Komatsu bulldozer to make his own road for his customers.
Yeah, here we go.
But he was shut down by Town Hall. And by November of 2002, a judgment was made against Marv for failing to connect his sewer line. The court ordered that the muffler shop remain closed, and with the Dochef denying easement, Marv was found in violation and was fined $100 a day until he connected his sewage. On November 17th of 2003, Marv wrote a check for the amount of $3,351, which he addressed to the Cowards and Liars Department, after having felt completely violated by the Dochefs and their shady political dealings. He lawyered up and took the town of Granby to court, but failed yet again and was punished for it, as the town turned around and reimposed additional fines of up to $1,000 for leaving abandoned vehicles on the rezoned property. And to add fuel to the fire, a local Granby newspaper wrote an editorial piece speaking poorly of Marv interfering with the Dochef's business, as if Marv was the bad guy. He was now stuck in a situation he had no way out of. A useless property, zero income, and his property and belongings were auctioned off. His direction and hopes for the future were, in his mind, stolen. What once was a dream became a nightmare. He truly believed that the town of Granby maliciously conspired against him because the town of Granby perceived to have conspired against him. And that's what officials in Granby will never understand, whether or not they had malicious intent. If you carry the tools to break a man and present yourself as the villain, perception is reality. And in April of 2004, in Marv Heemeyer's reality, revenge trumped forgiveness.
That's a caption. Hold on.
To break a man and present yourself as the villain, fired against him.
That's a caption.
And that's what officials in Granby will never understand, whether or not they had malicious intent. If you carry the tools to break a man and present yourself as the villain, perception is reality.
Ooh, you carry the tools to break a man, present yourself as a villain. Some reality. Ooh, that's a fucking caption. I'm gonna go back to that. Use that as a caption.
2004, in Marv Heemeyer's reality,
she not right.
Revenge trumped forgiveness, as he fortified half-inch steel plates insulated with concrete on the bulldozer.
I have had a perfect life.
Here we go,
up
Chad.
until 1999, when I found out what the Thompsons had done to me in 92.
Here we go, Chad.
And I am not going to take it. And I have to use...
Ooh, yeah! Death can have me when it earns me. Ooh, no, stop it. You make me miss God of War. Ooh, that was such a raw-ass fucking lie. Death can have me when it earns me, nigga! Yeah! Fuck, what?
The resources that I have, the wherewithal that I have, the ability that I have, the knowledge that I have, to make this right. I am not walking away from it. Maybe I'm being a coward by doing
that is how he looks. Death can have me when it earns me. You really don't try to test my... Oh, yeah, you are bad.
Because without a doubt, I'm doing what you
Yo,
have
this shit
done.
finna be wrong. Hold on.
I'm lying.
This nigga on his Iron Man shit, folks.
I'm inspired. I'm keeping things secret.
Little folks on his Iron Man shit, folks. Watch this.
And it's going to happen. If I would have been married, had a family, you know, things may have gone different. But God built me.
Yeah, well, I'm not fucking Kratos, am I? That's right. I can't talk like Kratos. Death can have me when it earns me.
For this job.
Yo, this shit wrong!
You had to take me on en masse.
This shit wrong! Yeah!
Well, I'm gonna take you on by myself.
Yeah! This is an intro. That's an intro to a Marvel movie on Fold. That shit, dude. That's literally how the movie start off. The Killdozer. I'm gonna take you on by myself.
Great to get started with you. Good morning, Colorado.
That nigga, folks, that was literally his villain origin story. He was in that building the motherfucker build. You took everything away from me. My life, my business, my land, my home. Well, I'm gonna make you feel what I feel. They're all gonna feel what I feel. Folks, that nigga's a lyric supervillain. The Killdozer. Face said, he's him. That nigga's Himothy. Himister.
What you need. Updating.
Now I sound like crap. Wow.
Can you take us through it chronologically so people get a sense? I know it all
This
started
nigga,
about 3 o'clock.
boom it, that nigga built a tank! For this nigga built a tank, G! Fo! That nigga built a fucking tank! That nigga was on. Fo, they need to get the. Fo, this needs to be somebody fucking supervillain, fo.
Dude, where did he begin? Do you know?
Marv took the dozer straight through the Mountain Park concrete plant. His arch nemesis Cody Dochev tried to stop the onslaught by ramming Marv's Killdozer with a wheel tractor.
Oh, this shit right, Fo! What the Fo, them niggas was literally clap. Fo, this thing, why the fuck this ain't a movie? Yeah, I was about to be one when this shit happened. Fo, they clapped. Fo, look at this shit!
But retreated.
Ah, that shit wrong! Them motherfuckers can't, that nigga said, Henry, listen, you have to stop. No, it's too late for me, Tommy. Where the fuck these niggas' name is? It's too late for me, Thomas. You did this to me. Bro, tell me right now, just think about a scene. That's exactly how the fuck this scene will go. Disney ain't gonna touch this story. DC make this movie. Yes, Disney, listen, folks, DC needs to make this movie. DC, somebody pitch this idea, man.
Once Marv opened fire through one of 3 gun ports installed on the kill.
Oh, that nigga! Oh, that nigga is Timothy, nigga! He him! That nigga had a fucking rifle out that bitch! He had a rifle on that bitch! He like, nigga, what up? Nigga, I'm with all that shit. Nigga, y'all niggas took Fo, yeah. Nobody fucking with this nigga.
Killdozer. Once the concrete plant was successfully demolished, he moved on to Town Hall. Next, he destroyed the Granby newspaper office that slandered his name.
I got my scene again? Really? For what? Oh, that much energy that shit took out of me to actually come up with that shit? Give me a minute. Phone.
Police responded to the chaos and had no means to stop the dozer. Their futile attempts to open fire and pierce the fortified shell proved useless.
Police couldn't stop the slow-moving bulldozer, which was armored with heavy iron plates welded in place of windows.
Using camera...
Nah, the breath. I'm just breathing real heavily because like I'm hyped. Nah, the breath. See, look. See? Nah, breath. I actually don't even know why I'm breathing like that, to be honest with you. I'm just pretending to be out, bro. No, but for real though, this nigga Timothy. This nigga has fucking technology compute. Yo. Fo, why the fuck this ain't a movie? Look at this shit! This nigga was bumming!
Cameras installed on the top of the shell, Marv was able to maneuver and return fire toward police. Officer Glenn Traynor of the Granby Police Department rushed the Killdozer and climbed atop the shell in an attempt to find an opening, but to his surprise, the entire shell was welded shut as one fixed piece. Marv Heemeyer had no way out and purposefully lowered the shell over himself to commit to his plans, sealing himself inside. Then Colorado State Governor Bill Owens requested the National Guard to dispatch an Apache attack helicopter, as well as troops equipped with Javelin anti-tank missiles.
He is just headed westbound again. This is tape. He is again headed westbound into the downtown area. Right there, they have taken out
this nigga is him.
While striking,
this is a villain origin story. Y'all niggas took everything from me, and I'm coming for my name.
And after 2 hours,
all you will pay.
The SWAT team approached the dozer and reported hearing the sound of a single gunshot from within. As Marvin
he killed himself
with no way out and no means to free the dozer.
He killed himself.
Took his life.
So that nigga is Timothy.
After hours of trial and error, Authorities were able to break open the shell using an oxyacetylene cutting torch and recovered Marvin Heemeyer's body at approximately 2 a.m.
Timothy. Shaq. Timothy.
The Killdozer was demoed, and its components were destroyed and dispersed between several junkyards. The Rampage caused an estimated $7 million in property damage, and nobody was killed or injured during the incident, apart from Marvin Heemeyer. Leading up to the incident,
Marvin Heemeyer, foe. This is this nigga whole villain origin story. I will take back what's my foe.
Marv gave away all of his financial assets to his friends and family, and left various notes behind.
He went out like a G. You hear me? A gangster, nigga. That nigga went out like a real nigga.
Docheff's business plans.
That's what the fuck I call a villain, nigga.
And no matter how you look at it, perception is reality.
This shit was like a movie with Granby.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. There's a lot more mini documentaries in the works, and you don't want to miss it. So make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Somebody needs to make this a movie.